Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts BULMA, the Journey to Planet NAMEK version. This one wasn't exclusive, I think. Probably. I'm pretty sure it was, which means it costs a whole lot, and I'm wondering if it's worth it. Yeah, it has the red logo. I think that means they're exclusive. I don't remember anymore. It's taken so long to get these things, I don't blame them. Like, people keep asking me, why aren't you reviewing these things? Because they're stuck in shipping. That's the case for even like full-on corporations, companies waiting for shipments, let alone me just waiting for my order. So yeah, I finally got this in. I do believe it was one of the exclusives. So is it worth the money? I don't know. It's an acceptable figure, but there's some stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands just about 14 centimeters to the top of her head, which makes her pretty close to 5.5 inches. You could probably take that down just a little bit for scaling purposes for hair poof, but on a head like this, I'm not sure where to estimate it. So let's do a quick question of the day. Are you guys all in on the Dragon Ball line so much that you're willing to pay a premium for a figure of BULMA? I am, because I'm a reviewer, and I might as well because I already have the rest of the line. But I wonder if the normal collector, the regular person who doesn't do this for a living, is invested enough to spend 90 bucks or whatever it is to get a figure like this. I wouldn't if it wasn't for the fact that I do it for a living. Alright, so let's talk about it. Aesthetically speaking, the sculpt is okay. The detail work is fine. If we zoom in on the clothes, you see some wrinkling, that's fine. There's no paint really anywhere other than where it needs to be, up here on the gray and on the belt. It's just solid yellow plastic. Looks super cheap. The sleeves and the pants, they're not glossy or anything. This isn't either, but they're just solid. So it looks really, really cheap. And also, I have to say, the sculpt is like, back when they were at NAMEK, the drawing was usually a lot bulkier. Like, even BULMA was a lot shorter, like squattier looking than this. This is fairly tall and skinny like modern anime. Back then, she had like the little cutout above the knee and the cutout at the calf. Like, I'll see if I can find a reference image. So it's not exactly perfectly accurate. It's fine, but she's fairly tall and skinny, and it just looks really cheap. We only have paint for the toes, the boots there, the belt, and up here. It's so basic and just bland looking. It doesn't look good because it's just solid plastic. Like, it'll do in a display amongst a bunch of other figures, but on its own, this does not feel like a premium figure at all. I will say they did a really good job with the paint job for the red up here on the hair, and then the faces all look really good, and I'll show you those in a minute. But it just doesn't feel premium. There's zero shading and zero detail paint work really anywhere. So I'm going to give this figure an aesthetic rating of only 5 out of 10. For an SH Figuarts, especially a premium one, assuming I'm not wrong about that, I'll check. It just doesn't look good enough. Now, as far as accessories go, we do have 4 different faceplates. We have this smiling one that comes on her in the package, then we have the startled one, the happy one, then the other startled one. However you want to describe them. They're all painted really well. They're very, very nicely done, so I like that a whole bunch. For hands, we have the 2 fist hands, 2 pointing finger hands, 1 dragon radar hand, and then 2 relaxed hands. That's fine. We do, of course, have the dragon radar to go with the hands. We get a backpack, which can go on her and is fairly nicely detailed. We get a fanny pack. That's basically just another hunk of plastic. We get an alternate hat head, which has the hair connected to it, of course. But the hat also just bare plastic. This looks like a Lego piece. Like, straight up looks like a Lego piece. Zero paint. Nothing. And the plastic is such that it actually looks like a Lego piece. Looks like ABS plastic. Does not look good. And then lastly, we do get the 7-star Dragon Ball, which is gorgeous. They nailed it again. Mine has like one tiny little defect in it, but even then, they're so reflective. Like, I can look through it and see straight through to what I'm looking at, even though it's upside down. That's very well done. So accessory-wise, I'll go 8 out of 10. It's pretty good, but the hat looking so cheap, not cool, like very not cool. And same thing with the plastic, solid plastic fanny pack thing. So yeah, not bad, but nothing special. Okay, let's talk. Well, I don't know. What else could we have included? The frog? I guess not, because we already got the frog from someone else. I think they should have included the frog again. Okay, so let's talk about the articulation. Unfortunately, we have a ball hinge in the head, not a double ball peg, which means you have very much a limited situation. You can lean forward and back, but even then it's minimal just because of the sculpt. Rotating side to side, or leaning side to side, you get just a touch because of the way they angled it, but in order to really pose it, you have to pop the head off if you want to use that joint effectively. You're going to get your rotation though. And I'm guessing most people just won't care because it's Bulma and she's just gonna stand there holding a Dragon Radar or a Dragon Ball, which is fine. But double ball peg's cheaper and easier, and they should have done it. Shoulders, not a good design. Aesthetically speaking, they're pretty ugly. You can see the whole ball peg ball hinge combo, which lets the arm move around, but it doesn't even fill the gap. Like, it's just ugly. It looks so cheap. It's functional enough, but it's ugly. You can hide it by bringing the arm forward, but that's about it. Single jointed elbow works pretty nicely, that's good. Wrists are on a ball hinge, they work, that's fine. The torso, couple of ball pegs in there, it leans around pretty well. That's fine. It does pop off fairly easily to add the fanny pack, so that's pretty good. The skirt is split on the sides, that will allow for some extra posing. So you can bring the legs out pretty far, and they are on just basic ball pegs. They're fixed, they're not hinged. But they go out pretty far that way, and going forward, like let's say she was going to run or kick or something, that's as far as I can get it to go forward and as far as I can get it to go back. So enough probably in conjunction with each other, but that's not very much range. Is there a thigh swivel? A little bit. Yeah, that's a good thigh swivel, no problem there. Single jointed knee. Why did I say double? Don't know. Need more sleep. I'm going to get no sleep coming up pretty soon. Single jointed knee is okay, but definitely not the best looking thing we've ever seen. Ankles are on ball hinges, which work well enough. You get decent range going back, and you get some range going forward, not much at all. Toe joint is very loose, but it is a decent toe joint for them. They don't have that big chunk sticking down, so I like that. You do get a decent ankle rocker out of it. So her articulation leaves a lot to be desired. Not that it's actually necessary for the character, but for an SH Figuarts figure, it is very basic and unimpressive. So I'll give the articulation a 6 out of 10. The shoulders are really ugly. The head doesn't function all that well. The knees are pretty ugly too. So all in all, this is a fairly disappointing release. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't put that much effort into a figure that not that many people are going to buy. But my theory is if you make a figure, you need to put all of the effort into it no matter what. Because if you make it and people are buying it, it needs to be what it's supposed to be. It doesn't matter if it's a side character that's going to sit in the back of the shelf or not. If you're making a high-end figure of a character, it needs to be a high-end figure of that character. And so that's why I'm going to give this figure a final rating of only 6 out of 10. Honestly, the best thing about this figure is the Dragon Ball. The face paint is nice, and that's about it. There's nothing really going on here that makes me happy to own this figure other than it's from a part of Dragon Ball and I can recreate like that group of characters on the shelf if I wanted to. But that's it. It's pretty disappointing, especially at the price point. So not too pleased. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you really might want to. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.